Hey, what's going on everybody? Chad Christian coming at you with another exciting video. Today I'm bringing you the Google Pixel XL review, so let's get into it. The beautiful display you see here is a 5.5 inch AMOLED 2560 by 1440 screen which has 534 ppi. The display has around 400 nits of brightness, which means the blacks are very black, but the screen is a bit warm compared to say the iPhone 7 or the LV V20 with their LCD panels, so you do get a little bit of yellowing. The display has what's called night light mode, which allows you to decrease the blues at night. So if you go into your settings and display, right here, night light mode, you can turn it on or off. So you can see what it does there is it takes that brightness out of the screen, so if you were at night, it doesn't hurt your eyes. You can also have that set to turn on, a custom schedule. You can tell it sunset to sunrise, which is really cool too. As for the white point on this phone, you want to be as close to 6500 Kelvin as you can, and this phone's around 7200, so it's pretty close. It's not too bad. Now the sound on this system, there's only one speaker on here, which unfortunately is on the left hand side, so if you're right-handed like most people, you're going to have a very good chance of muffling the sound with your pinky. I would have liked it if it was on the right hand side like the LG V20 has, so that you don't accidentally block that with your finger. So you can see here you would never be able to muffle that. So I'm not sure in the design choice. Maybe they found that more people, even if you're right-handed, hold your phone with your left hand, and in that case there'd be no problem. The storage options for this phone is 32 and 128 gig, and it has 4 gigs of RAM, and there is no expandable storage. Colors, you can get it in a very silver, a quite black, which is what you see here, and a really blue, which is still hard to get a hold of in the beginning of November here in 2016. Charging for the device, it has fast charging through the USB-C port, and Google's claiming that you can get 7 hours worth of battery life in just 15 minutes of charging, and in my case I found in about 15 minutes of charging you get almost 40% battery, so it's pretty good. Speaking of charging, the battery life on this is a 3450 milliamp, which gets you around 4 to 5 hours of screen on time and around 18 hours of use. I tested that while surfing the web, watching some Netflix, YouTube videos, you know, taking some pictures and some videos and social media apps. I always run my phone around 50% brightness. I keep Bluetooth and Wi-Fi turned on the whole time. So battery life is really good on this phone. Now pricing and availability. Pricing starts at $649 for the 32 gig variant and $749 for the 128. Verizon right now is the only carrier that actually has them for purchase, but you can walk into a Verizon store, purchase one, take it to other services. Just make sure that your carrier does allow you to use the phone, or you can just buy it from Google's own store. The camera on this is the buzz of all the tech world right now. Everybody just loves this camera. It has a 12.3 megapixel shooter on the back with an aperture lens of f2.0 and features a dual LED flash. It has phase detection and autofocus and laser autofocus, so this has extremely fast focus on it, which I'll show you. And it has digital image stabilization, so it does not have built-in optical image stabilization, but I have found that it does a terrific job. It's not jumpy. And one of the benefits on this phone that you can only find on this phone is that it does image stabilization doing 4K video, so I love that feature. The front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel camera with an aperture lens of f2.4. The camera, which is nice and convenient, has 2 modes to be able to get to it. Of course, you can launch it through your camera app, but the nice feature on this phone is if you double click on the power button, it also launches the app. The camera has all your standard features: slow motion, panorama, photosphere, which is a 360 degree picture, lens blur, which is like the portrait mode on the iPhone 7, and this does allow you to change what resolution you're going to shoot at for front or back if you want it in the 4:3 or 16:9 settings. You can see here that I just leave the camera on 4K all the time. Even though this is a 32 gig phone, one of the nice features is the fact that Google will back up for free all of your videos and pictures at full resolution. So even if I use this for a ton of videos, second I'm done, I can tell it to back up and then just delete right off the phone. So there's really no reason on this phone to use 1080 or one of the lower resolutions anymore. And you can see here this option does allow video stabilization even with the 4K on that, which works perfect. Focus is extremely fast. You can see there that the laser focus picks up immediately. It's one of the fastest I've ever seen on a phone before. You can see that it does a really good job with the macro. I mean, look how close that is. This phone also has HDR Plus and it's instant. So as you can see there, as fast as I can press that button, it's taking those pictures. Great job on that. So there's your video mode, 4K. Recording comes out great, crystal clear. Recording comes out great, crystal clear. Now one of the cool features on this is it has gestures, just so you can see on the phone here. If I double flick my wrist, it goes into selfie mode. And double flick again and it goes to the back camera. Love that feature. Fingerprint sensor is on the back on this phone. It is fast. It's comparable with the Nexus 6P. I don't think it's as fast as the LG V20 or the iPhone 7, but when you get into milliseconds, does it really matter? I mean, it's fast enough. So you put your finger on that and you can see that it instantly unlocks your phone. Now one of the cool features that's only available on this phone is if you swipe down on your fingerprint sensor, you can also get your shade notifications, so you can swipe down and up. So if your hands are busy, you only got one hand free, it's perfect. Let's talk about the design. The design on the phone's pretty ordinary, minus the glass back, but the nice thing is there's no camera hump. So if you set this flat down on a surface, there's no wobble. When I first got the phone, I wasn't sure if I liked it or not having this extra glass panel, but I like it now just because it sets the phone apart. It looks different, it's unique. The more I use the phone, the more it grows on me. It actually feels good in the hand. It's a solid built phone. It feels premium. It feels like you're holding a nice device. It's comparable to holding the iPhone 7 because it's a nice heavy build quality. Feels great. Nice edges. The headphone jack is up on the top. Some people prefer it on the top, some people prefer it on the bottom. I don't really have a preference, doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad that it has a headphone jack. Apple. Now before we get into all the special features on this phone, I would like to talk about some of the cons. If they're a con for you, might be, might not be. There's no home button on it, so everything's controlled on the screen. Some people say that's a con. I actually prefer the buttons to be on the screen. I don't like physical buttons at all anymore, but that could be a con for you. There is a large chin on the bottom and a big forehead up here on the top, which I would have loved if they would have used that for front-facing speakers like they did with the Nexus 6P, but there's no double tap feature to wake up. You can't wake this phone up any other way other than hitting the power button or on the back. I wish there was a way you could double tap or lift like you can with the iPhone 7 to at least get your notifications. Does not have that option. I also would have liked if the phone had water resistance or waterproofing or wireless charging. Like I said, these aren't deal breakers, it's just some things that I wish were on here, and some would call them a con. There's no ability to expand the storage with a micro SD card slot. Now let's get into some of the reasons why you would buy this phone, the special features. The special features I think sets this phone apart. While it doesn't have all the super gimmicky features of a Galaxy phone or the V20 or V10 series, it does have some cool things on its own. Google Assistant, right? That's the big one. Everybody loves the Google Assistant because you can actually talk to her. So let's ask her some basic questions. What's the Patriots record?
They're first in the AFC East with 7 wins and 1 loss for a winning percentage of 88%.
Okay, Google. Who's the quarterback?
Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo, and others are quarterbacks for the New England Patriots.
Okay, Google. What's Tom Brady's passing yardage for last year?
Here's the top search result.
So you can see that when she isn't able to respond, she just Googles the query. But you can see there's a lot of different options. How many children does he have? How many Super Bowls has he won? You can just click on it, it'll instantly tell you.
According to reference.com, New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has won 4 of the 6 Super Bowls he has participated in.
So you can see that the Google Assistant it's really cool. It's a nice feature. You can also just touch the button. Remind me tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I have a conference call with Microsoft about their new engineering program.
Okay, do you want to save this?
Yes.
Okay, reminder saved.
So one of the other exciting special features that are on here, like I said, is the fast action camera. So you can double press on this to get to your camera whether the screen is on or off, which is nice. If you know, you're out on town and you go, oh hey, I would love to get a picture of that, you can double click the power button and you're ready to shoot. You have those gestures like we talked about with the shade. That's a nice feature. You can flip the camera in and out of selfie mode with that double twist of the wrist. Now one of the cool features of this phone too is that you get support. So unlike any other phone that's out there, you can get support right off the screen here. You can get phone or chat support. And when you click on support, it'll actually put you in the queue with the chat and it will alert you when it's your time to chat with them, and you can do other things, so it makes it convenient. This phone does support Android Pay. If you go into your settings, right here, tap and pay, Android Pay is set up. The phone does have built-in NFC, so if you want to pair it with an NFC device, it's very easy to do. So let me show you on this little iHome speaker. So all I need to do is put my phone directly over this unit. Are you sure you want to pair with a Bluetooth device? Yes. And there it is, it's paired with it. Now I can use this device. And because the phone is using the latest version of Nougat, it allows multi-window, which is a feature that I love. So if you're surfing the web, you can also multitask. If you just hold down the menu button, you can use 2 apps side by side and you can resize them. Also works in landscape mode, which is nice. So if you're watching a video over on the left, you can do work on the right. And I consider it a special feature because if you have this phone, you're going to get the updates first. So if you're a techie like me, you're going to love the fact that you get to use any of the new features that Android comes out before anyone else will. Now for my overall verdict and should you buy. I think the Google Pixel and Pixel XL, I think they're directly taken on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, just because they've made it so easy to use and it's fluid. There's no extra UI to get in the way. There's no buggy issues. You don't have apps crashing on you. So I think that's an extreme positive. I think anybody coming from the iOS ecosystem will be right at home with this device. So I think it's going to help with sales. But at the same time, because it doesn't have all these extra bells and whistles like you would find on a Samsung flagship or even an LG device, with their heavier skins, you don't get all the extra features. So it's kind of a toss-up on that. But with this phone, you will get one of the best camera experiences out there. Fast and easy way to get to them. If you care at all about being able to shoot in 4K with image stabilization, this phone is definitely for you. And this is the fastest phone out there right now. But if you're looking for a phone with all the bells and whistles, extra hardware, wireless features, you know, waterproofing, stereo sound, some of the extra features like that, you're definitely going to want to look somewhere else. And for that reason, there would be a penalty on this phone, and I would throw a 15-yard personal foul flag for missing some of those hardware features that Google and HTC could have easily included on here and made this the top phone that has ever come out before. And that's going to do it for my video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and leave any comments down below. I love reading those. And make sure to share this with your friends. I'll see you guys on the next video.